Hey everyone, Kyle here, and welcome to the next episode of Synced Up Design's Equipment Academy. In today's video, we're going to be taking our pull hits exercise and adding some body contribution to this. This can be a little bit difficult, especially because we're adding the idea of tossing with body. So if you don't get it right away, that's okay. Just try your best to incorporate as much of the technique as you can when we go through it. But before we get into any of that, as always, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you can always stay up to date with us with anything we post in the future. Anyways, let's go learn how to do our pull hits with body. So similar to our flourish exercise with body, we're actually not going to be changing the sequence of the exercise by adding any extra pull hits or anything like that. But very different from the flourish exercise, the body that we'll be adding on top of it is going to be a constant moving body. So that's where it kind of differs just a little bit. So you're not just going to be hitting a pose and holding it as you go through the exercise. You're going to be moving in between different positions as you go through each of the pull hits. So like the regular exercise, we'll be starting with our vertical pull hits. And the body that you're going to be doing while you do these vertical pull hits is going to be tendus. So whichever side you're working, which we're going to do our right side first, is going to be the leg that you move in tendu. As you do this, you'll do 2 slow tendus, 3, 4, just like you do 2 slow pull hits, and then you'll do 4 fast tendus as you do the 4 fast pull hits, yeah? So we start in that vertical position. As we do our first pull hit, we'll go tendu, close. So when you release it, you tendu out. When you catch it, you close back to first position. And the same thing happens again, slow. 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, sorry. 1, 2, hold 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you do the exact same thing for the fast ones, except there's just not a hold in between them. You'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that this is going to be super spastic and sharp, but you still want to make sure that you're trying your best at least not to hit and then let that be super stiff as you go through. You also want to make sure that similar, things we've talked about in our tendus when it comes to like the basics of doing a tendu, you want to stay lifted in this base leg to make sure that you can freely work the other leg without it being super cumbersome or super hindering to what you're doing, yeah? So really try your best to stay lifted and allow that leg to freely move comfortably as you're doing your pull hits. That way the body can just work on its own and you can focus on maintaining proper spin as you go through the pull hits. Once you finish your quick pull hits in vertical position, you're going to move into your angle. And the angle positions, you're going to be working in a lunge and a forced arch. So when we finish that last vertical, we pull to the angle position. When we catch this angle position, we're going to step out with the same leg of the side that we're working into a lunge position. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight. As I go through this, when I'm working through the forced arch in the lunge, the leg that started out straight will stay straight the whole time. So just remember that as we go through. So we are in that vertical, we step out into the angle at a lunge position. When I pull to my next angle, this was my first slow one, when I pull to the second slow one, I'm gonna reverse that leg to go into a forced arch. So notice I still have a bent leg, but I just twisted it out to lift that heel up, but I'm still keeping it bent and I'm also keeping this other leg straight as I go through. So we started, the first 2 slow ones go out into a lunge and then to a forced arch position as I go through this exercise. I just repeat that process when I do the 4 fast ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only other added detail with that is going to be your head. So when I step out into a lunge position, I'm going to look over my right shoulder away from my flag, but towards the leg I'm lunging towards. So whenever I'm doing a lunge, I'm looking towards that leg for the pull hits, right? Whenever I do the forced arch, I'm going to look away from the leg and towards the flag. Yeah, so just think about switching the facials and switching your focus as you go through it, yeah? So we do look towards it, look away from it, and then we repeat that for the fast ones going all the way through. So the last angle position you'll finish is in a forced arch shape. So we stopped here on the last angle position, and now we're gonna move into our flat. When I pull into my flat, I'm gonna rotate this leg out one more time, but then I'm gonna plie both of them and just find a second position grand plie. My head is gonna go down ever so slightly. Again, I'm not leaning over my flag or anything like that. I'm just having a soft lowering of the head and a soft plie as well going into this. So we are here at this forced arch, and then we pull to that plie position. For the flat positions of the pull hits, we're gonna be working in plie and passe balance. That foot's gonna stay flat. So we first started in that plie. When I pull to my next flat, I'm gonna lift up to a passe balance. This is gonna be difficult because you wanna make sure that you really push onto this base leg with energy so you can maintain balance while also spinning a giant flag, right? So really think about that, using the proper energy to push up onto that leg and maintain that balance, because you have to hold this for 2 more counts before you get into the fast ones. So just something to be aware of. From here, you're gonna alternate the passe. So we started in that forced arch, we found plie. I pulled up and I went towards the leg of the side that I'm working, which is my right leg. When I do my next pull hit, I'm gonna go back into that plie, dropping the leg that was in passe. And then when I do the next one, I'm gonna pull the opposite leg up, yeah? So we were here in this balance on the slow one. We go pull to quick, and I alternate to the other foot. After that, we have 2 more pull hits, which will go to the next flat. And then we finish the last pull hit up into that passe, again, pulling the opposite leg up into passe. So we're just working from plie, passe, and we're alternating which leg pulls up into that position. Once you finish that, you're in this passe balance here. You're gonna pull back to that vertical position to start your all around slow ones, and you just bring that left leg down into a second position to finish it out. Once you finish that last pull hit and you found second position, you're just gonna keep your body the exact same for the last 4 pull hits where we go through all of the angles, right? So I'm not moving from the second position. I caught here in second. I stay here as I go through each of the positions to finish it out. But from here, I have to do my transition. And since we started in first position on the other side, we need to make sure we start in first position on this side as well. So we just finished going through all of our angles. We went flat, hold, back up to vertical, hold. From here, I'm gonna take my left hand down to switch, as I usually do for my regular transition. As I pull this silk out to then grab at the top and set myself up for the left side, I'm gonna tendu the same foot of the side that I just worked on, so that right foot. So I caught here in that vertical position, I switched. As I grab the silk and pull it, I'm gonna tendu that right foot, and then I close to first position when I grab at the top of the pole, and then I am ready to go on the left side, adding the body with the opposite feet. And then quick review of all of that body on the left side. It's the exact same approach, again, just with opposite feet. So I just finished. I'm gonna go out into my first vertical pull hit, but I'll be moving my left foot through to the tendus. Again, staying lifted in my base foot to make sure I can work this foot without it being a hindrance on what I'm trying to do. Once I finish that 4th quick pull hit, I'm gonna step out into a lunge. And I remember I'm looking over the shoulder of the leg I'm lunging towards right now to catch. So I'm in my lunge position and I'm at my angle. Then I pull to my forced arch shape and I look over the opposite shoulder. I repeat that process for the quick ones to go through, alternating where I'm facing and how I'm lunging. Once I finish, I'm in that last forced arch shape. I'm gonna pull to flat and find plie. Remember, after this, when we pull into passe, we're first gonna go towards the leg of the side that we're working. So I'm gonna push off the right leg and I'm gonna pull up to balance on my left leg. Remember, trying to lift up into that base leg so you can maintain good balance in this passe. From here, we move on to the next quick ones, which will alternate the passe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We finish that out by opening up to a regular straight second position, back into that vertical pull hit. We go all around the world in the slow pull hits to hit every angle, and then we finish back in the vertical. The transition stays the same. I switch my hand. As I pull the silk out, I'm gonna tendu the leg of the side that we're working, which is now the left leg. I open the silk up and I close to first when I grab at the top of the silk, top of the pole. Once I finish there, like usual, you can either stop and call it the end of the exercise, or you can continue and do it again. So going through this exercise might create this sensation of trying to like rub your stomach while also pat your head at the same time, which is difficult. I don't even know if I did that right, but it gives this idea of, trying to juggle multiple responsibilities because we're trying to do the pull hits with the body as well. But as you break it down and really just kind of work on those finer details and practice it, you'll get more comfortable with multitasking those different responsibilities over time. The biggest thing, like every other exercise, is just making sure that you're committing to the technique of the pull hit as well as the technique of whatever body that you may be working. So really trying to make sure that the images that you're creating are super clear and the energy you're putting into whatever motion you may be doing is also super apparent to whoever may be watching it. So just really think about breaking down each of the sections so you can focus each of them and master them over time. And that was our video on pull hits with body. Again, if you aren't getting this right away, don't beat yourself up about it. This is a challenging exercise that I know I struggled with when I first learned it. So just make sure that you're taking the time to practice, and over time, you'll get better and better at it. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it down below. And if you have any questions at all, as always, go ahead and comment it, and I will be there to help you guys out with anything you may be confused over. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one, and happy spinning.